Hi everyone, this is Shaman Durek, and it's about turning it up. We're gonna turn up that energy, gonna turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And you know why we gotta turn it up? Because we live in a world of lies. Lies, 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 lies. And when you live in a world of lies, you might think that you're going a little bit crazy, but you're not. You see, what's happening is that you're actually having an awareness of your truth in a world of lies. So the world that we live in, right? Its job is to keep you emotionally creating situations in your life that are not pleasant, that are not prosperous, that are not filled with love, that are not honoring that sacred place of truth that our mother, father, God wants us to honor and see in ourselves, right? So let me explain to you. There was a post that I recently put up on Instagram. And if you haven't seen it, well, then you're missing out because it's an amazing post and it talks about the reflection of life. And a lot of times when I share that with people, they still don't quite get what I mean. So I'm really going to explain it to you so you can get it and it can ring, 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 ring in into just integrating into your being so you can have that level of truth and then be able to work wonders with it. Okay. So here's how it goes, right? So a lot of times people believe that what they think is actually creating their reality. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not what you think that's creating your reality, because thinking is not the thing that actually accesses the dimensional fields of energy and magnetically brings these things to you in your life. In fact, what brings things to you in your life is how you feel. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say, for instance, you want to create a relationship. And in that space of creating a relationship, you keep going into the idea of, I don't want to be alone. I want someone who's going to love me. I want someone who's going to be kind to me, loving to me, and cherish me, and so forth, right? But when you are actually thinking it in that way, you are actually making it about the feeling of being alone, the feeling that you don't have someone there. That's all the universe is paying attention to. So what the universe is picking up from you energetically and magnetically is that you are feeling the feeling of loneliness and yearning and wanting someone to come in and fill in that yearning wantingness. And that's why you end up attracting someone who comes in who is not coming in at the high quality level that they should. They're coming in to deal with that energy, reflecting of that energy, because that's how the matrix, that's how the universe is operating. It's operating on your emotional clarity and intention, but you think it's mental. So a lot of times people, let's get into this manifestation mentally. I don't even know what that means. That's actually kind of like basically saying that what you think you're actually creating, and it's not. It's what you feel is what you create. And the longer you can feel it, the faster it will show up in your life. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say, for instance, we take and look at this world. So let's look at this world for what it is, okay? So you live in a world where media, from films to songs on the radio, to movies you see, are all invoking some type of emotion, right? Now, whenever the system that we live in wants us to be, how do you say, shut us down, wants us to feel that we can't do something, all it has to do is do two things. It distracts you by creating what we call a disruption within your emotional intelligence. That means that your emotional intelligence is going, hey, what are we going to feel so we can create? The mind's job is to do one thing. Your mind is only there to assist your feminine nature, which is your emotions, to create the right feeling so that you can then create that or project that out into the universal field of intelligence and thus bring it to you. However, the system knows that. It knows that if it can get you to have fear, it can get you to have worry, it can get you to have anything that would make you feel a certain way, right? And this is why if you ever listened to Bob Marley's song Redemption Song, and he said, only but us can free our mind. What he's actually saying in freeing your mind is not freeing your mind by making you more enlightened. It's freeing your mind from thinking thoughts that are actually creating emotions in you that are actually destructive to your life. Okay, so let me give you an example. If you are picking up on the feeling of fear, the feeling of lack, the feeling of worry, if you're going to the bank and saying very little money in your bank account and you go straight to the feeling of, I don't have enough or I wish I had more, that's still a yearning, which means that's still lack, that's still a feeling of poverty consciousness. And literally, you're creating an emotional response to your poverty feelings. And that's why nothing changes. So the key element, right, is I started really looking at this in life. I started going back to the story of Snow White. And was it Snow White or was it Sleeping Beauty? I think it was one of them. I think it was Snow White. And where the witch goes into the mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? The mirror was a reflection of life. It's showing her what she's really feeling inside. And what she was feeling inside was jealousy, that she wasn't the best, that someone was out there better than her. So what did the mirror show her? It showed her the person that she is jealous of, right? Well, that's the same thing with life, right? Sleeping Beauty. Was it Sleeping Beauty? Okay, Sleeping Beauty. I think it was Snow White, right? But I could be wrong. But anyway, it's one of those. The point is you understand what I'm saying. The thing is, right, is that going on to the idea and the concept of whatever you reflect. So think of life as that mirror. If you feel what it feels like to feel loved by you, then you will demonstrate that energy into the world around you. If you feel what it feels like to be loved unconditionally and accepted for who you are, you will have experiences of unconditional love and acceptance being reflected back at you from the mirror of life. If you feel what it feels like to have wealth and prosperity, to have a limitless amount of money to do the things that would make you feel happy and contribute to the world at large, right? Right? Because if you have money, it's not just for yourself, it's also to share that with other people, right? So if you feel what it feels like to have money that you can share and do the things you want to do and feel what that feels like, that then allows you to manifest and create more wealth in your life. If you feel what it feels like to be successful, then you will then acquire success. And it was interesting because one of my friends, it was going to the Olympics as a swimmer. And he said to me, his coach used to sit him in the pool and he would tell him to feel what it feels like to win. Feel what it feels like to win. And that's what he did. He spent more time meditating about himself winning than he did actually just go constantly and swim. And every time he had his swim meets, he would win. And it was because he was literally feeling what it felt like to win. So it was matching the vibrational frequency that the universal field of intelligence that loves you unconditionally and is basically paying attention to your feminine energy, which are your feeling centers, right? That's going out into the world and creating the value of life that you are choosing to reflect into from your emotions. So if the witch had gone to the mirror and came into the mirror with love in her heart, then she would be reflecting everything that is love back to her. So a lot of times we go into this state of, how come things aren't changing? I'm meditating, I'm reading the books, I'm taking the webinars, I'm doing the things that I need to do. Why aren't they changing? Well, the reason why they're not changing, my darling, is because you have not yet brought in the knowledge, which we call the part of consciousness that communicates directly to the feminine energy. So it's your masculine talking to the feminine, right? Sharing with it a thought. The feminine takes that thought and goes, okay, so I'm going to generate a feeling from this. The feeling then goes out through into the physical world, finds the magnetic frequencies of those things that match those feelings and brings them to you. Then the feminine communicates back to the masculine, this harmonized energy, right? And that's why it's always important for us to go to our feeling center than to go to our mental place of analyzation and trying to figure things out. Because whatever we analyze, my darlings, whatever we analyze, we're only analyzing information from the things that we've experienced in life. That means that we're not accessing the true knowledge of the unknown. We are accessing only that which is from our past experiences that we deemed as good or bad. That quality of experience does not support us. So let's see what Spirit has to say in regards to that. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 1, 2, or 3, and I'm going to go with number 2, and let's see what message Spirit brings down with the number 2. Let's see. Aha. Okay. So it's showing a person looking at a beautiful lake, and that person has love in their heart. And when they look at the lake, they see love reflected back to them. But if that person is looking at the lake and doesn't have love in their heart, then when they look at the lake, they see the opposite being reflected to them. In that space, all of the flowers and all of the trees and everything is in bloom with bright colors. Everything is in bloom. The flowers are in bloom. But when the person is looking at themselves from in malfunction and thinking, which is mean creating and generating an incorrect emotion, all the flowers are dying. Everything is decaying. Everything is turning gray and turning black. So what I'm gaining from this image that Spirit is showing me right now is that how we feel inside then reflects back to us our experiences, and the vibrancy of those experiences is governed by us. How much color do we want to see in life? How much joy do we want to see in life? How much prosperity do we want to claim in this lifetime? All of these things are possible when we understand the mental, masculine, and feminine emotions connection, right? And how that is creating a facilitation of why we meditate, why we pray, why we do things to sharpen our mind, not to sharpen our mind to the point of needing to have lots of information about a lot of things, because even that in itself is also depleting. But it's about having information that supports an emotional well-being so that our emotions are in the right energy frame to create that which we want to be reflected, so that we can see the true color, the true vibrancy, the true essence of what is there when we have rightful thinking, right? So it's not about us needing to know so much about everything. It's knowing things that are actually creating emotional well-being. Does everyone understand that, my darlings? Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Never stopping. Let's get it popping. So when we are operating in a place where we are allowing other people, now this is an interesting one, okay? Because one of the biggest traps, or should we say the biggest prisons on our planet that can't be seen but is felt, is when we care about what other people think about us. Okay? Now, why? Let me tell you. When you care about what someone thinks about you, you are not only giving yourself the ability to generate an emotion that literally completely pulls you away from yourself. That means that you go into what we call a prison of your own emotions, created and held by your masculine mind, which is the warden, who is focusing so much on what other people think. So you care so much on what other people think, you start to feel maybe shame, maybe you feel guilt, maybe you feel sad, maybe you feel fear, maybe you feel worry. All of these feelings are then sent out to the universe to bring to you the very truth of what you're projecting in the mirror of life. And that's why it's so important for us to realize that trauma, childhood trauma, is an illusion. It's an illusion. Childhood trauma is an experience that you had. It is not the sum total of your emotional intelligence and your ability to profoundly connect into the universal truths that are so ever present, and always here in your life. That means that when you say, the reason why I can't do this is because I went through so much trauma, that means that you are selectively choosing to feel that energy over and over and over again, which creates more trauma, more of the same energy showing up. Because what you're basically saying is that I'm incapable of generating a thought that is strong enough, with enough strength and wisdom and knowing, to create a generated experience in my emotional body that allows me to generate a feeling that is supportive to my life. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an a woman, an amen, a namaste, a mashallah, and a yay? It's damaging on all fronts. So when we look at relationships, for instance, when we look at relationships and we say to ourselves, what is the true value of a relationship? What is a true value of a relationship? And I use that as an example of my own relationships, right? My own relationships and the relationships that I have had in the past. So relationships I've had in the past have been a bit, I would say, a great deal of tumultuous. And the reason why was because the feelings that I was creating inside was the incorrect feelings to attract someone like I have now. They were feelings that were based in the feeling that I wasn't feeling that I could manifest a relationship the way I needed to. So my mind was creating feelings of not wanting to be lonely, not wanting to share my life with someone. I wasn't really getting clarity about what that was. I was just simply not wanting to be alone and wanting to share my life with someone. So that the universe was like, if that's the energy you're feeling, then we'll send someone in. But I didn't say that first I want to experience I want to feel the feeling of what it feels like inside for me to love myself unconditionally without judgment, accept myself and acknowledge myself. That should have been the first thing I did, but I didn't do that. I was more focused on the loneliness and the need to fill in that space of loneliness at whatever cost it would take. I didn't get specific, like, I want to feel a feeling inside of what it would feel like to be loved by someone who is very empowered, to be loved by someone who honors their triggers, to be loved by someone who sees me exactly as I am, to be loved by someone who loves me unconditionally, to be loved by someone who's able to hold their own power and have their own life and their own things that make them happy, to be loved by someone who's spiritually awakened, someone who takes spirituality as an evolutionary process and is willing to grow and find solutions instead of to be loved by someone who is playful, to be loved by someone and really having that level of clarity, to be loved by someone who's like this, to be loved by someone who's like that. And so what I did was I had the loneliness, I had the wanting to fill in that space of not being lonely, and I had the feeling of, oh, I just wish someone would love me. Well, that's not really, how do we say, what we call clear intention of truth, because the universe was like, fine, then we'll send in this person to love you, but you didn't say what type of love. You just said to love you. So brought someone came in who loved me obsessively, to the point of being abusive and calling me names and doing all these things. And I kept holding on to that relationship because I kept feeling inside beaten up by that person. And then I started feeling even worse, in more feelings of side, like fear and sadness and all these things. And then more of these things started projecting in my life, in every certain aspect of my life. And so it was only when I was willing to start feeling something different inside, when I started feeling like, I want to feel what it feels like to be loved by me. I want to feel what it feels like to feel the love of me without judgment, to feel the love of me and not worrying about what other people think, to feel the love of me, to fully embrace who I am and why I'm here, which is to love people and to guide them to love themselves, to love people, and to guide them to love themselves and love people. And if the last thing I'm known for on this planet is to be known for how well I loved, then I have completed why I came here. So then when I made that decision, my life changed. Everything changed. My finances changed. My success level changed. The certain types of people that showed up in my life changed. I started realizing all the people who were just taking my energy because I was giving it to them, because I just didn't want to be alone. And all of this stuff was leaving me. And all these new people were coming in. And let me tell you, it was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Might not get the words right, but it can be atrocious. But supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Alhamdulillah, 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 alhamdulillah. So that's how I felt. I felt pop rocks. I felt powerfully aware of myself in ways that I never thought was possible. And that came to a conclusion of me understanding the unknown. And if you are interested in more understanding of the unknown, I do have a webinar tomorrow, which is all about understanding, no, not tomorrow, sorry, on Thursday, which is all about understanding the unknown and being able to navigate the unknown as a pro. So please sign up for that. It's super inexpensive, so it won't take that much money out of your pocket because it's that amazing. But getting back to what I was saying, when I realized that, I said to myself, okay, I did that now. Now I would like to share it with someone. But when I said that, I also said, I want to feel how it feels to be loved by someone who accepts me for all levels of who I am, my multidimensional expression. Someone who is also spiritual, to feel like what it feels like to be loved by someone who is spiritual, someone who loves deep, someone who's transparent, someone who I can talk to anything about, someone that I can cry in their arms and they still see me as a strong man, someone who will call me out on my bullshit and help me to grow and look, and so I can face my triggers, someone who's not afraid to own their own space, someone who loves to build their own thing away from what I'm doing, someone who is a powerhouse in their own right, and someone who loves people as much as I do, someone who loves family and family connection, children and children connection, and loves to be a kid, loves Disney, loves video games, and loves to have fun and loves to laugh. So I created that feeling inside. I created that feeling inside of me. And every day I meditated and went back to that feeling. And I went back to that feeling. And I went back to that feeling. And within 2 weeks of me doing that, the person that I'm going to marry this month walked in. In 2 weeks of me doing that, that person walked right into my life. And what we have to take from that is that I'm sharing this with you, my darlings, because I know how powerful you are. And it's your time now. It's your time to shine. It's your time to never have to worry about money. It's your time to have the love that you truly desire, that's going to love you unconditionally and who wants to find solutions and not play power games with you anymore. It's your time to surround yourself with people who are on the litty come on the Liddy Committee. It is your time to call in your spiritual authority as you, as this beautiful divine being who is the embodiment of God as you, that has chosen and has been chosen by the universe to exist at this very time because you are needed exactly as you are. This is why I'm here. I'm not here just to sit here and gabba, 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 gabba. I can do that with all my friends. I don't need to gabba, gabba, gabba. You understand? I'm here because I love you. I'm here because I see you. I'm here because I know your potential. I'm here because I'm holding you up in the highest light and saying, anything and anyone that is not vibrating at a high level vibration, that is acknowledging you, it's because you're calling in those energies with the incorrect malfunction in thinking that is communicating to your feminine energy the wrong type of information to generate those emotions. We got to get your emotions in the right way. You got to become a master of your emotions, of your emotional energies, so that you are able to communicate to the universal field of intelligence. Do you know animals communicate through emotions? Trees communicate through emotions. Flowers communicate through emotions. Wind communicates through emotions. Cells communicate through emotions. Water communicates through emotions. Fire communicates through emotions. Every single thing in the universe is communicating through an emotional field. That emotional field is what we call a level of intention. It holds a code energy of intention. That means the energy frequency of what is accumulated from God consciousness. God consciousness, right, comes in when you get your mind out of the gutter. It comes in when you get your mind out of the other people's stuff. When you stop thinking in balanced ways. What does it mean to think in balance? It means that it should make you feel good. You're not thinking in balance. If you are thinking and your thinking and your thoughts are not making you feel good, then you are creating the wrong sauce, honey, for this recipe. Okay, let me tell you, this recipe, this recipe needs something great. It needs some super something special. It needs you to think in a way that triggers those emotions, and you need to be in relationships that trigger those emotions, and you have to be around people who are triggering those emotions, or you decide that you trigger them yourself and don't let anybody trigger your emotions. And then you can really understand what it means to represent yourself in your sovereignty. But to understand the divinity of self, you need something saucy, baby. You need something saucy. You need something yummy. You need something that makes you feel so good. So that energy is then being projected out into the world, because the universe don't care what you got to say. The universe doesn't care what you say out your mouth. If what you say out your mouth isn't triggering your emotions, you ain't doing nothing but just wrapping your mouth. Just chop, 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 chop. And let me tell you something. If you want to feel something, then you can feel it. Because if you have shut down your feelings, it means that you have given so much in malfunction and thinking to your emotions that your emotions says, I don't have no time for you, because I'm not generating that anymore, because every time I generate something, horrible things are happening. So let's get your mind in the right place, boo. Let's get your mind in the right place, boo, so that you can do what you came here to do. That simple, like that. So when you get your mind in the right place, that means you have functional thinking. You are then communicating the right information to your emotional intelligence. And then your emotional intelligence generates some powerful energies that then open up energies in the universe that allows you to have a better life. So if you want to turn it up, like I said in the beginning of this talk, you got to turn it up. You got to turn it up. You got to turn it up. And that's what it's about. So one of the greatest gifts you can do, again, is you can go on my Lit Vibe meditation app, subscribe. If you are on the app and you're just doing it for free, that's great. And I offer that. But if you subscribe, you get the dopest meditations. But these aren't meditations, baby. See, I don't do meditation. Shaman don't do meditation. We don't do meditation. We do activation. You see, every single person who's on the Lit Vibe meditation app will tell you that their life has changed. Why? Because the meditations are activated energy principles that are connecting into your emotional body, that are creating real experiences in the here and now time. Not something that happens a year from now or 6 months from now or 5 months from now. We're talking right now. Actionable experiences. That's what we want. We want actionable experiences, not it's going to happen tomorrow. Just like someone says, "Oh, I'm going to have a great day." No, boo. You ain't having a great day because the universe doesn't understand what you mean by having a great day. The universe doesn't understand the future when you talk about future things. Okay? So what you want to say is, "I'm having a great day." So you are now claiming it in the here and now, actionable authority. You are taking that in the here and now, actionable authority. If you're having difficulty in your life, that's because whatever feelings you're creating inside are creating these things to show up the way they are. And the universe is saying, get your mind right, child. Get your mind right. Get your mind right so you don't have malfunction thinking. You have correct form of thinking that is generating the right type of emotions in your being to communicate to the spirits and the beings that are out there who will want to make your life everything you could imagine it to be. But you got to feel it. You got to feel it, babies. You got to feel it. If you feel inside, "I don't want to be alone. When am I ever going to meet someone?" You're going to stay alone and you ain't going to meet nobody. If you're feeling inside, "Oh my God, I'm going to run out of money and I feel fearful that I'm going to run out of money," you're going to keep running out of money. You might as well just go and take a bucket and stick holes in every place where you got money and just watch that money come running on out because you are not creating the right feeling for that type of situation. And if you're a person who says you want success, but you're afraid that people aren't going to like you or not going to like what you're doing or whatever, that's a feeling of embarrassment, a feeling of shame, a feeling of not feeling loved and supported. That's exactly what's going to happen to you. You ain't going to be loved and you ain't going to be supported. And now I'm going to tell you why, because that's all that you're sending out to the universe. So don't get upset. Don't be like, "Oh, God doesn't love me. Look at all these horrible things happening in my life." No, God loves you. It's just that you don't love yourself enough because you haven't created the feeling of what it feels like to love yourself unconditionally and to love yourself into success. What does it feel like to love yourself unconditionally? So let's do that. So who wants to go live? Let's go live. And let's start showing you some demonstrations of exactly what I'm talking about so we can take it to the next level. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Ashe, baby. Amala Ashe. Let's go. Let's go. Me. Okay. So me. I like that. I like it when people just go straight for it. Oops, 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 oops. Where was the me? Let's go back. Let's go do it again. Complete. Me keeps it nice and neat. Me just brings you on so we can have a talk and meet. Hello, my darling.
Hello.
So, have you been listening to what I've been talking about?
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like I've had you on replay for like a week in different ways, and I've been on this live for, I don't know, 20 minutes? How long has it been? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm relevant. Okay, so now let's play a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna generate energies. And so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna generate energy. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna show you how to access that energy through your feelings. Okay. So all you
Okay.
have to do is create a thought. So the first thing is your thought. Now, once you get masterful at it, you don't have to create a thought. You can just generate those emotions. But right now, we're going to play with the masculine mind. Okay. So all I want you to do is think, "I have a yearning to feel strong energy." Just that thought. And tell me when you have that thought in your mind. "I have a yearning to feel strong energy." Mhm. Tell
Okay.
me when you have, okay? And then
Yep.
tell me when that thought becomes even more so. That yearning is like, I yearn for it and nothing will get in my way to feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? Now, tell me when you start to feel what it feels like to yearn for wanting to experience energy in your body.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And then just tell me when you feel it even stronger, the feeling of yearning to feel energy in your body. Tell me when you feel that.
I feel it.
And tell me what's happening as you're feeling it.
It's it's almost like the energy's building up from
Yeah.
the heart
Now, let me
area.
show you into God's limitless source, right?
Mhm.
To tap into anything of God's limitless source is so easy. It requires you to desire more. Okay? So now tell me when you feel the feeling of, I desire more of that energy.
Oh yeah.
And just tell me when you feel it getting stronger because you
Yeah.
desire more.
It's getting
Amazing.
stronger. I'm getting a
What you're
little bit
doing,
of headache.
you're getting a little bit of headache, right? So now you know what that is. I'm going to show you what that is. Okay. So you're getting a little bit of headache. You're getting some kind of body response. Okay. And this in shamanism, we say is the part of you that's holding space for something that needs to go for more energy to come in. So think of it like your vessel has this much energy, right? And you're calling in more energy. So that more energy needs to expand your vessel or get rid of what's there that's taking up your energy space. Huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you so now what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to create the feeling of feeling how it feels to want more energy, so much more energy that you're willing to let go of anything that's occupying space in your body, in your emotions, or in your mind, and release it out of your mouth and throat. And tell me when you feel that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's almost like it happens during your meditation. No, not your meditations, your activations in the app too. It's almost like the yawn hurts and it can't come out as
So if
much.
it can't out, that means you have not made a feeling inside of seeking to create to have more.
Mhm.
Because remember,
Okay.
God only expand us if we're willing to surrender what is no longer necessary.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we are to hold the energy of desiring more requires me to release what is no longer necessary, your body will naturally start releasing what is no longer necessary.
Hmm. Sorry.
And
Goodness.
And you don't have to say sorry because this is a natural occurrence. And in the future, for our species, there will be more people who will be able to facilitate this as a normal lesson for kids growing up and for adults who have not had that experience of having a beautiful life prepared for them. Because you see, life is only that which we reflect into. We reflect into life through our emotions. So if you are not able to hold a certain amount of God's light, that's because you haven't been willing to let go of what's occupying the space to do so, right? So what we're going to do now
Yeah.
is tell me feel the feeling inside of you desiring even more of that in your life, more of that love and good energy and powerful energy that you're willing to let go of deeper things that you've been storing inside and release it out of your mouth and throat for the exchange of all that is good.
I feel it. I feel it so much in my head.
Yeah.
Mm.
So which as a shaman that a lot of your imbalance is held in your masculine mental field,
No doubt.
right? So then if I so pick one, two, or three, one, two, or three.
Three.
Let's see what the spirits show me. Oh, okay. So three is a woman who's going around picking up things that people are dropping and wanting, making things for them and saying, do you like this? Will this make you happy? Does this fulfill you? And people are never satisfied. And so there's all these things that she wants to do that's there, but she can't get to it because she's always trying to make sure that everyone stays in a good place with her to make them happy. So she's running around picking up things, she's making them cakes, she's ironing this person's clothes, she's doing this thing, she's doing that thing, and she's exhausted. So then when she goes to look at the things that make her happy, she feels nothing.
Yeah. Right.
One, one, two, or three.
Two.
Let's see what spirit shows me of two. Okay. So the two is a forest, and there's a girl, and she's in the forest. She's singing, she's writing, she's dancing and frolicking through the forest. But she's also afraid that someone will see her or someone will catch her doing those things. And she's in the distance. There's a house that has a chimney with smoke coming out, and there is a woman, and she's standing with her arms crossed in a very disapproving way. And what it's showing me is what Spirit is saying is that there is this part of you that seeks to be free, wants to be in nature, has to be in nature for you to develop your powers, your gifts. You have to write, you have to write, you have to sing, you have to sing. So this is showing me that, but it's showing me a female energy, and it could be a mother, it could be someone, anyone kind of in that role, who is creating a discomfort, disapproval of you being that free and making you self-conscious of your ability to be that free. And so that's what the image is showing me. One, two, or three. Choose another one.
One.
Let's take a look. So the image is of a woman going to the ocean, and she's washing herself with the waters of the ocean, cleansing herself energetically, and she's packing herself up, like packing jams and different things and clothes and all this kind of stuff. And there's a horse and a cart, and she's waving goodbye to the house with the chimney, and she's going on a journey. She's leaving and saying goodbye. Not that she'll be gone forever, but she's gone for now because she has to go find herself. And this is what is showing. And in the image, there are two white doves, and the two white doves represent finding fulfillment, finding one's true calling, one's true self, one's true reasoning. And it's saying that it's a sense of freedom. It's a call to freedom, and it's a call to love as well. It's also it's a form of love. So it also does mean that love is present in this journey, but it requires you to take it, but you have to cleanse everything off of you before you take this journey. And so one, two, or three.
Two.
Okay, let's see what two. Yeah, so in this one, it's like there's a woman, and she's like shooting an arrow, and the arrow hits directly the target, and everything around her she's experiencing from the place of not feeling guilty, not feeling like she owes anyone anything, not feeling like she has to meet everyone's expectation. She's had a time to travel and to experience her life. She's opened up and blossomed, and there's a man who's standing there looking at her and smiling with great love in his heart, and he's acknowledging your freedom of self. He's acknowledging your power that you've gained, and he realizes that that's the type of person he wants to connect with. And that in that image, there is again the doves, and this time they're taking a string and they're pulling the string around you and around this person, and this and there's these people coming with books, books that she has written, and that they are bringing these books to her, and she's laughing and smiling, and feeling really free and very open. And so what that image, what spirit is showing me in that image is that by you creating that freedom, removing yourself from the idea of people pleasing, the idea of meeting other people's expectations, the idea that you have done something wrong or should feel guilty, but you remove yourself from guilt, you then create a different life where every time you shoot an arrow, which means that you go for something, it becomes successful and you become very happy. And the books represent something about you writing a book or creating something where you're sharing your knowledge with the world. And the guy represents the ultimate love, the person who's coming in and seeing you for who you truly are instead of just seeing themselves. So, and the doves wrapping the string represents a union that is being brought together by spirit. So it's a really beautiful thing here that the spirits are showing me, that your life is, and what is required for you to step into that place. So the energy, emotion that you want to create. So go ahead, let's do that right now. So what you want to feel is, how does it feel? So how does it feel to be loved for who you are without expectations? How does it feel to be loved for who you are without expectations? And just tell me when you feel how that feels to be loved for who you are without expectations and what that feels like.
It, it feels very peaceful, um, like just at ease because you don't have to keep trying.
Good.
I feel
Tell me how it feels to love yourself without expectations.
it feels really expansive and just light, not so heavy.
And tell me when that increases, that love of you loving yourself without expectations. And you see how the energies that have to come out because it has no more room to stay. You see, remember this, any spirit that is of darkness, okay, is only coming in to support you to hide from your light. So it only takes up space because you gave it space to take up. So when you call in the love, when you call in that which is true, which is wisdom, when you call in grace, when you call in beauty, when you call in prosperity, when you call in everything that would bring the highest level of feeling to you, it can't stay anymore. So then it ascends, it has to transcend.
Be a lot.
Mhm.
Be a lot.
Mhm. That's okay. And we're not even going to say that. We're just going to be like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you're creating a different feeling from a different way of thinking. And now you're thinking in what we call correct thinking. And that correct thinking is now generating the correct emotion. And that correct emotion is now generating a new life.
I can feel that. Good. A lot of pressure up here still, but it's okay. It's good.
Right. What you do is tell me how it feels. So tell me when you feel how it feels that the pressure gauges in your head are released. Tell me how it feels that the pressure gauges in your head are released. And tell me when you feel what it feels like when the pressure gauges in your head are released.
Almost like you opened, like there's little, I'm trying to think of the, like pressure has built up in like a canister and you've unscrewed.
Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Now tell me how your head feels.
Ooh. There's still a little bit of pressure, but it
Great. So then tell me how it feels to feel that little bit of pressure releasing. Tell me how that feels to feel that little bit of pressure releasing.
it's taking a little bit, but it's slowly almost vaporizing out. I don't know how to.
And tell me when you feel what it feels like to have lightness in your head and the pressure completely removed. Tell me when you feel what that feels like. And now what's happening?
I'm just wait. There's still a little bit, but it almost feels like a breeze.
Okay. Now let's look at tell me when you feel your body releasing any darkness or entities that are affecting your mental or head space. Tell me how it feels, those, how does it feel that those entities are releasing from you? Tell me when you feel that.
I just felt like this surge of energy.
And tell me when you feel the feeling inside or the thought in your head that yes, it can be this easy. And tell me when you have that thought in your head of yes, it can be this easy.
It's there.
And tell me when you begin to feel the yes, it can be this easy and is this easy to release.
Yeah. It feels like pressure off.
Off your shoulders. You feel pressure coming off your shoulders.
Yeah. Yes.
hmm And how does your head feel now?
It feels better, but now it's moved back here.
Okay, so that's fine. So tell me when you feel, or actually, let's start with your thoughts. Tell me when you have the thought that nothing can stay when you're ready for it to leave, and that you're ready for it to leave. Tell me when you think that.
Yeah.
And tell me when you think that even more and your body and emotions begins to feel it.
I feel it.
And tell me when you feel even stronger and it
Oh yeah.
starts to release. Tell me when you completely going away. Tell me when you feel that it's gone.
The pressure in my head is gone.
And then tell me when you feel the thought of, I enjoy feeling light in my body. Tell me when you feel that, when you have that thought in your head. I enjoy feeling light in my body. Tell me when you have that thought.
I do.
Good. When you begin, that thought begins to increase and you begin to feel it of what it feels like to be light in your body.
Feel it. It just feels like light.
Huh? And then tell me when you have the thought in your mind, I really enjoy smiling at God and God smiling back at me. And tell me when you have that thought.
I do.
Good. And tell me when that thought becomes even stronger, that your feelings begin to feel what it feels like to smile at God and to have God smile back at you.
I feel it.
And tell me when you feel that even stronger, saying
I do.
to, I love smiling at God and when God smiles back at me when I smile. Feel that. God and have God smile back at you. And how does that feel, my darling?
It feels great.
And so
I,
what you are, huh? What did you say?
I was just gonna say, there's still some energy and pressure, but
Where do
it
you feel this energy?
in my arms now and still in my head. I feel like, and the thoughts are coming up of, oh, you're not doing it right. You're you're
Okay,
messing this up.
that's fine. Those, so what we call those what are called disruptive patterns, right? And disruptive patterns come on because a part of your being doesn't want to believe that it can be that easy, that simple to shift energy and to move into that space. So what I want you to do is tell me when you have the thought in your mind of, nice try, that's why I've sent you to the light because I don't listen to that type of nonsense. So tell me when you have that thought in your head. That's nice. That's why I sent you to the light because I don't listen to that type of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me when you feel that even stronger in your thoughts.
Man, something is just my head.
Right? And do you see how you said that just now? That's what it wants you to say. So again, we got to get back to training your thoughts. So again, tell me when you have the thought of, I'm sending you into the light and I don't put up with this type of nonsense. And just tell me when that shows up in your mind.
Yep,
And then tell me when you have the thought in your mind and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
yep,
And then tell me when you have in your mind, because what I say is done.
yep.
And then tell me when you have in your mind, and you will stay here until you transform back into your original form, which is love.
Yep.
And tell me how that feels in your.
I'm feeling like tears, but strong.
Mhm. And then tell me when you have the thought that I am a child of God and I am not to be toyed with. And tell me when you feel that in your thoughts.
I feel it.
And tell me when you feel the thought in your head, it is my will to do so.
I feel it.
And just because you say I can't doesn't mean that it's true.
Yeah.
And then tell me when you feel the thought, now that you're in the light, I'm starting to feel so much better right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when you have the thought, I love this feeling of feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now how does that feel in your body?
I'm at a loss for words. Um, oh my goodness. I still.
See how you're releasing now because of everything you just thought?
Yeah, because the old thoughts are trying.
Uh-uh. Don't say those words. They're not trying. They're trying to get you to say they're
Yeah.
trying. So tell me when you have the thought in your head, you can attempt to try, but you'll never get me to agree.
Okay.
And tell me when you have the thought in your head, it's so silly that you guys continue to try when you know that it stops right there at you trying. And tell me when that thought in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
There's still pressure. Now it's in my back.
okay, that's not the same pressure that I had. So that's just a different pressure and just releasing a different source of energy, right? So tell me when you have the thought in your head, I love how the healing spirits are clearing the energies in my back where there is pressure. Tell me when you have that thought in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me when you feel what that feels like in your body. What does it feel like to have the healing spirits clearing the energies in your back? And tell me when you can feel that in your feelings.
Feels expansive.
And tell me when you feel it even stronger and your breath increases and you begin to release whatever's in your back out of your mouth. Good. And then how's that?
It's better.
Good. And then tell me when you feel more of it coming out.
I have to admit, I'm feeling like fear come up?
Yep, that's fine. That's all it's releasing out of there. Great. Tell me when you feel the fear go releasing out of your mouth and throat so deeply that it's going into the light. And tell me when you feel wisdom going into that fear as more is releasing out of your mouth. And tell me when you feel the feeling of feeling good and loved, causing more space to be taken up. So go ahead and take that in. Take in more love into your body. Go on, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Yep, you can bring in more. Bring in more. Come on, bring in more love. Keep bringing in more love until there's no space for any of those energies to exist. Bring in more love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bring in more love. You can bring in more than that. Bring in more love. Don't worry about your eyes. It's your body releasing emotions it no longer needs. It was taking up space. Bring in more love. You got it. Bring in more love. Come on. Bring in more love. There you go. Bring in more. You can take more than that. Bring in more. Tell me when you feel the need to have more of it. Bring in more. Bring in more. Take in more. You can take more love than that. Bring in more. Come on. Take in more. You can take in more. Uh-huh. You can take in more. You can take in way more than that. You can take in way more of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Release all that stuff. You can take in more love. Come on. You can take in more. Take in more. Take more love into your throat. Take more love into your back. Take more love into your arms. And let's even add some electricity to that. Take in some electricity from the spirit world. Take in electricity from the spirit world. Take it into your arms move. Take it into your back moves. Take it into your stomach moves. Take it into your throat moves. Take in more electricity. Stop wiping your eyes. Take in more electricity. Come on, take in more. Take in more electricity from the spirit world. Take in more. Take in more. We're just restructuring your nervous system. Take in more. You can take more than that. All these amazing energies all around us, and we can take as much as we want of it because it's a limitless supply. Take in more. You can take way more than that. Come on, take in more electricity. Take in more electricity until the sounds come out of your mouth. Take in more electricity. Take in more electricity. Take in more. Come on, take in more electricity. That's it. Take more. Yearn for more electricity. Take in more. Take in more. Take in more. There's so much available. Take in more. That's it. Take in more electricity until the sounds come out of your mouth where you've been holding back your power. Take in more. Take in more electricity so it clears those sounds out of your mouth that have been holding back your power. Take in more. You take in more than that. Come on. Take in more. That's it. Take in more electricity. There you go. Take in more. Turn it up. Turn up that electricity. Turn it up until those sounds come out of your mouth of all the times you didn't let your sounds come out because you were afraid to speak your truth. sounds. Good. Take in more electricity. Take in more electricity. Now we're going to rev up your system and shock your throat with that electricity. Shock your throat again. Shock it again. Shock your throat. Shock it while you're releasing. Shock it again. Shock it again. Shock your throat again. Come on. Shock your throat again. Keep shocking your throat. All that poison comes out. Shock your throat again until your body cannot stop coughing out that poison. Shock your throat again until those sounds come out of your mouth. Shock your throat again. There we go. Shock your throat again and pull those sounds out of your mouth that you've been stuffing down inside. Let spirits talk to you any which way and think that they can have power over your body. Shock your throat again. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shock your throat again until those sounds come out. Shock your throat again until those sounds come out of your mouth. Shock, shock your throat. Shock it again. Shock it deep. Shock it deep until those sounds from the back of your throat come out. Mhm. Take in more electricity. Come on. Take in more electricity and take in more unconditional love and acceptance. Love without judgment. Love without judgment. Take in more love without judgment. Take in more. Take in more love without judgment. Come on, let's go. Taking more love without judgment. That's it. Come on, baby. Taking more love without judgment. That's how we do. That's how we do. That's how we do it here. Taking more love without judgment. That's it. Mm-hmm. Taking more love without judgment. More love without judgment. Getting all the sounds of your mother sounds, your grandmother sounds, all of those sounds that need to be released. Take sounds, release. Mm-hmm. Here comes more. Mm-hmm. Big one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what we call body transformation right there, baby. That's body transformation. That's releasing. That's releasing stuff that's just been getting in your way of your power. Taking more love without judgment. Taking more love without judgment. Come on, taking more love without judgment. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Mm-hmm. Release sounds, release them grandmother sounds, release them great grandmother sounds of your throat. Mm-hmm. Release those patterns out of your throat. Release those patterns out of your throat. Mm-hmm. That's it. Shock your body from head to toe. Shock your body at 10,000 and release the poison sounds out of your mouth. Shock your body and release the poisons and the sounds. Mm-hmm. Shock your body at 30,000 and release the poisons and the sounds out of your mouth. Shock your body with more electricity at 50,000 and release the sounds out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shock 1,000 with electricity, poisons and the sounds of your mother's sounds, your grandmother's sounds, and your great sounds, and your sounds out of your mouth. That's it. There you go. See? You see that energy you feel in your body? Increase that energy. Increase that energy. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Increase that energy. Power. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Increase your power. Take in more of your power. Take more of your power. Increase your power. Increase your power. Go on. You can increase your power more than that. Let's go. Let's go. Increase your power. You got this. Increase your power. You're powerful. That's what you are. You powerful. Increase your power. Increase your power. You're powerful. Go. Let's go. Let's. Increase that power. Increase your power. Increase it. Increase it. Keep increasing it. Keep increasing it. Scream out all that energy. Keep increasing. Yes, you are powerful. Keep increasing it. There you go. Keep increasing it. Turn it up. 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 Increase your power. All that screaming and all those sounds come out from you, your mother, your and your great grandmother. Mm-hmm. That's it. Spirits help her to clear her throat. Increase your body and your throat. Increase the electricity. There we go. Now we're going to open up your throat. We're going to wake up your throat. Spirit of your throat. We're going to wake up the spirit of your throat. Spirit of the throat. Wake up the spirit of your 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 throat. It's an elemental spirit. Be woken. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Let's go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. It's an elemental spirit. It's time to wake up. Wake up the spirit of your throat. There we go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Let's go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Wake it up. Wake it up. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Let's go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Wake it up. Wake up the throat. Wake up the throat. Let's go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. The living elemental. Wake up that spirit of your throat. Wake it up. Wake up the throat. Wake it up. Wake that spirit up. Wake that spirit up, baby. Wake that spirit up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Wake up that spirit of your throat. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. No more sleeping. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Let's go. Your body's made up of many spirits. Wake up that spirit of your throat. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Wake it up. Wake it up. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Mhm. Wake up the spirit of your throat. That's it. It's not going back to sleep. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Wake it up. Wake it up. Wake up the spirit of your throat. Wake it up. Wake up the spirit of your throat. I know it hurts. I know it hurts, but you're just letting it go. That's all you're doing. I'm right here with you, baby. I love you. We're just letting it go. Wake up the spirit of your throat. It's time for the spirit of your throat to do some things. It's got to clear some things, you see? Wake up the spirit of your throat. Doing great. Wake it up. Wake up. You got this. You got it. It'll be the same after today. Wake up the spirit of your throat. You're in good hands. You're in Shaman Durek's hands. We love you. Wake up the spirit of your throat. There you go. We all love you. So wake up the spirit. Wake it up. There it is. All that emotion right there. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Call in your deep soul cry. Call in your deep soul cry to release those emotions out of your emotional body. Call in your deep soul cry. Call it in. Call in your deep soul cry. Call it in. Deep soul cry. Call it in. 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 Call those spirits of the light that help you with your deep soul cry. Call them in. Call those spirits. Call them in to help you with your deep soul cry. Call it in. Good. That's, that's how powerful you are to release all that stuff that's been hindering you in your life. All of that stuff that's been hindering you. Feels good, doesn't it? To let all that stuff go. How are you feeling, my?
I don't know. I feel like I've been doing so much healing and all the things. Wow, I look um
There's no judgment. Continue.
primal.
Primal, yeah. Primal's good.
Thank you. It's been needing to release for so long, and this isn't my spiritual resume, but I did ayahuasca and I do breath work and I do all the things. And it just feels like it's needed to be gone for so long. Thank you.
Don't
I
cry. Okay? You don't have to wipe those tears. Your tears are meant to fall. They're meant to fall. They're meant to be released. That is the surrendering. That is the sacredness of the soul. It is the ability to shed all that is no longer needed and come into a new rightful action with yourself, an action that is nurturing and loving and supportive to you, an action that only listens to the truth that is giving you love every single day, only listening to that love that's always ever present in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always present with you. That is the rightful action. It is listening only to the voice of love, only to the voice of love.
Speaking of love, I have to show you this. My dog is right there.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, darling.
He's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh no, no, he already knows. That dog animals already know what you're doing before you know what you're doing. They
He had and
sequences. That
my
means that they can
guide.
feel what you're going to do or do it.
He's been purging for me, is what my spirit guides told me.
Hmm.
Thank you. I
Do you
love you so much.
feel our love for you?
Yes, thank you. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for all of you.
Thank you for believing in me to hold space for you. Thank you for trusting in me to hold space for you in the most delicate and loving way to support you on this journey of yours to excellence every single day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doesn't that feel so much better in your body?
I'm still shaking, but in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
I can't wait.
Woo-hoo.
Great, great. Thank you.
Amala Ash. Well done, my darling. See how powerful you are?
I don't know how to leave. You
Little X, I think, in the corner. You see, what we are doing here is we are activating. So there's different ways that shamans can facilitate a spirit shaman, by the way, just so you know the difference, because earth shamans are the ones who deal with plant medicines. I'm a spirit shaman, so I'm everything in the spirit world, right? And energy, frequency, vibration, voices, spirits talking, all of that. As a spirit shaman, it's important for us to be able to utilize different facilities when it comes to healing. If it's activating energies within the body, if it's calling out energies that are in the body, or if it's self-empowering you to use your own power so that you see that you're the one operating and facilitating these energies yourself. And I think that's really important, especially in today, because a lot of times people are very codependent and they get very codependent and they think, oh, it's because the shaman did it or it's because this healer did it. And it's never the case. It's always because you did it. And so it's always remembering it's not about me. It's not about the healer. It's not about any of these other people. It's about you. And it's about your choice to call in what needs to be called in energetically for you to see and experience these beautiful, wondrous forms of transformation that is possible, right? And it is through that space that we open up this beautiful opening. And someone says, "Does it hurt me?" No, it does not hurt me to be of service. I have in the past have hurt myself when I was in service because I was operating in the wrong context. I was operating in the idea of my mission, I'm here to save the world, I have to help people. And then that was a lot of my ego as well. And once I was able to go, wait a second, that's not my spirit. That's my ego seeking validation and wanting to be seen as something special or different from all the things that I've gone through. And once I was willing to let that go, I was able to step into rightful action, which is I'm not doing it because I'm trying to save the world. I'm not on the mission to save this world. I'm on a journey of love to learn how to love greater than I've ever loved and take it to the next level